Are we on? Are we on? Welcome to Basketball Heads Live. I am your host, Glenn Poole Harding. And oh boy, we have a very special guest. This basketball head is the executive director of the My City Alumni Classic. This is an annual sporting event celebrating 4 former New York City College basketball players. My city features 10 basketball teams, with each team consisting of alumni players of their respective New York City colleges, competing both for women's and men's supremacy, and to have some fun and build some camaraderie. My City Alumni Classic was established in the spirit of fostering intergenerational connections within colleges, alumni base, and across New York City. This basketball head is a Brooklyn native. He played junior college basketball at Kingsborough Community College, where he led the way to 2 city championships. He would finish his career at CUNY York, earning all conference honors before graduating with a BS in accounting. In spring of 2021, this basketball head earned his doctorate of education from East Tennessee State in sports leadership. That's what we need, baby. More doctors. Man, we're not talking about doctors and helping people, sis. We're talking about that doctorate degree that takes you to the next level and enabling you to do whatever you want in this world. So youngsters, take note to what our next guest is doing. This basketball head is an U.S. Army veteran and has worked as a sports management professor, youth basketball coach, and host of his own podcast, WBH Radio. So, without further ado, help me welcome to the show the executive of My City Alumni Classic and host of the WBH Radio podcast, Dr. William Holley.
Y'all ready? Yes. You have just stepped out into the world of chaos. Where everybody goes hard. Come on. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Or go home. Never back down. You gotta hold your own. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. East Coast. Go hard. West Coast. Go hard. Midwest. Go hard. Dirty. Hurry up, everybody. Get online, buy your tickets, cause the game about to start.
Hey, Doc, how you doing?
I'm good, Mr. Harding. Thank you for allowing me to join you here on your show.
No, it's a pleasure, man. It's a pleasure, man. I've been enjoying your work, what you've been doing on your podcast, and all the great guests you've been having, and the awesome conversations, man. So you just, it's a blessing, man, to see, guys like yourself, adding on to the culture and keeping, the spirit of basketball alive in New York City.
Trying, brother. Somebody got to tell us stories. I'm trying to keep up with you, man. I got to salute you. One thing that is evident is your work ethic. I see you everywhere, Pooh. So salute to you, my brother.
Thank you, man. As I tell everybody, man, it was done for us, and I think now if it's our time to give back for the way that people gave back to us, it's only right.
For sure.
Yeah. And another thing I want to commend you on, brother, is for your services in the armed forces, man. I just think you guys don't get enough credit for what you're doing, sacrificing your lives and everything. I'm just being real, brother, because it's not an easy thing.
Yo, I was just a G.I. Joe fan growing up. That's all. I just wanted to go play G.I. Joe for a little bit.
No doubt, no doubt. Yo, let me tell you something. I was a huge G.I. Joe fan, man. And if you pay attention, especially to the cartoons, they was giving up a lot of knowledge that's going on, you know, in the world. So, no doubt, no doubt. I think what was that one of the cartoons they'll tell you, you know, with great power comes great responsibility. I guess that was for the superhero, right?
Absolutely.
No doubt, man. So we want to jump into this, man. You know, give you your flowers and also let the people in the world know what you have going on nowadays, right?
Let's do it, Pooh.
My first question always for the night is, who introduced you to the game? Let's get that right out the bat.
Who introduced me to the game?
Yes.
The game of basketball, man. My path was a little bit unorthodox. You know, I never really played high school basketball. Well, in fact, I've never played high school basketball. You know what I'm saying? I just was a park kid. You know what I mean? Just trying to keep up with the older kids on the block. So I got to give a shout out to my people from Remsen Ave. You know what I mean? My big bro, Ian Kane, my big bro, Elo. You know what I'm saying? That was really it. I didn't really have that formal training. I ain't really had a coach or a mentor. Like we raised each other trying to figure it out. You know what I mean? We see something on TV and we got to go try and duplicate it. And that was really it, man. I just wanted to hang with the cool kids trying to play the game.
I think that's a lot of our lessons, man. And that's a fun part of our lives. I think the youth are missing, learning from the older guys and getting that training from the neighborhood guys to kind of help you understand the game and the local people who had teams. And you didn't really have to really be on a team to be a part of what was going on in the neighborhood to understand, you know, how far basketball.
Well, Pooh, let me tell you, I'm from Remsen and Avenue B, kind of like the Canarsie area. So Ditmas Park was my home park. You know, Ted Gustus used to be out there. On a Sunday morning, when the OGs was out there, you would just have your fingers crossed hoping they would pick you.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And if you got on that court, you better do the right thing. You just grab the rebound, you know, hit the open guy. That's not formal training, but it is. You're learning to be a part of the team. You're learning from the OGs. Like, that is a way to learn the game also. You know, it's not the most structured format, but there's valuable lessons to be learned there. And I'll tell you this quick piece. I had the privilege of coaching on the Brooklyn College staff a few years ago under head coach Jeffrey G. Baptiste. And he turned to me one day. He said, yo, man, these kids don't play in the park anymore. They don't play with older coaches. And that's the first time I realized that. And I'm like, yo, there's valuable lessons on that asphalt also in those environments.
Because you learn patience. You learn to wait your turn. You learn to work hard enough to stay on the court. Because once you get on the court, you got to stay on the court or be good enough for someone to pick you again. So there's a lot of things to be learned in that, and just in that, you know, small period of time that you out there.
Yeah.
No doubt, no doubt. Salute to my guy, Ayatollah Beast, in the check-in.
Salute.
No doubt. So besides like Ted Gustus going out there, what are like your early memories of watching basketball, like whether it was on television or on the park, that captured, you know, your imagination?
The Chicago Bulls.
Tell it.
The Chicago Bulls. And it wasn't even the gravity-defying moves of Michael Jordan. I saw the teamwork.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I saw Mike getting buckets, but then I saw Scottie Pippen taking up the mantle of locking down the best ball handler, whether it was Magic Johnson or Mark Jackson with the Pacers. I seen Paxson hitting clutch threes. I seen B.J. Armstrong hitting clutch threes, Steve Kerr. And I like that dynamic. You know what I'm saying? Scottie Pippen carrying Michael Jordan off when he had the flu against the Utah Jazz. Like, that's really what attracted to me to the game, the teamwork aspect of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, just being a part of a group.
Man, those were the days, man. And for those of you who haven't had a chance of watching the Bulls, go back and watch some of those games and any of them games from the 90s. I think it's a lot to learn from there.
Paul, when they broke that record, 72 or what it was in 10, that is a team record. I know Mike is great, but that's each and every day, those guys picking up one another, picking up the slack if somebody's ill and stuff. Like, you got to be a unit a collective unit, work in unison to accomplish something like that. That's not just skill, son. And that's really what I love about the game. And that's kind of why I've continued to stay around the game even after my playing days, man, to be a part of that unit.
Yeah, same here, man. I always, tell people about our 1986 City Championship victory, the first one in Lincoln's modern history, right? We had one in 47, but we weren't in those positions, so we don't count that.
Right.
Right? But anyway, no one on our team was all city at the time.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have the notable players. We had some come before us and some come after us, but it was our team. Coach Bobby Hosting, salute to my coach, who made us all gel together to work for something great. And I think, we all could contest to that on some level, working with a team,
You mentioned in my bio that I was able to win 2 city championships at Kingsborough Community College. What I am most proud of, when you see that championship picture, you don't know who's who. It's just, we are one. You don't know who had 20, who had this. We won. It's something I could share with my teammates together, son. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that made the sacrifice, like, I was fortunate to win the MVP in my sophomore year, right?
Hold on. We're going to throw a tech on the play, fam. MVP for a guy who didn't play high school basketball and you went MVP in college. I don't care what level it's on, fam. That's a great accomplishment. So salute to you.
Yeah. but when I was on the court, what motivated me was my teammates. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't want to let them down. And when you're playing at the Division III level, we're not going to the NBA. There are sacrifices that need to be made. Our tuition's not being paid. Some people are working jobs. So I wanted to reward my teammates for the sacrifices they made. The guy that's at the end of the bench who don't get PT, but he is helping us get better in practice. And the fans may not see that. So I was motivated to try to reward them. And fortunately, the championship and team success is, something we could all share in together.
If you can remember someone in the neighborhood who kind of stood out to you, that guy who was like the best in the neighborhood that kind of inspired the other kids, even though you weren't, playing at the level that you were still outside and you knew who was outside, right?
Yeah.
Who was that guy, around the way that kind of inspired everyone else?
Well, I went to Boys and Girls High School, 99 to 2003. And I remember when I first got to school, I'm a freshman, just trying to stay afloat, trying to stay out the way,
right.
Bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, like, yo, this is a new world. And I remember somebody handed me a newspaper and they had this whole high school expose, and the centerfold was Boys and Girls High School Senior Guard Lee Church. And I said, this dude go to school with us? Like, right here in the middle of this newspaper? And that's when I really saw how big high school basketball was at not only Boys and Girls, but the city. You know what I'm saying? So, and even though I didn't play high school basketball, I feel like I was molded by that Boys and Girls culture. Lee Church, Tommy Eddy, Amadou Fall. You know what I'm saying? Like, just toughness. Like, when you hear Boys High, so I was kind of just molded by that culture.
Man, speaking of Lee Church, he's going to be on the show soon. That's my guy. And Tommy Eddy, I was there when he got rewarded with his when they retired his jersey at Boys and Girls. So I was there. Guys. Let him know that he's also welcome to come on the show. I met him and let him know that as well. But when the thing about love about boys and girls is on your way walking to the gym, you can see the legacy. You can see the jerseys. Before you walk into that gym, you see in the greatness of Boys and Girls and all the years that they've been dynamic on the New York City scene, man. So salute to everything that Boys have done and still doing, and salute to my friend Coach Ruth Lovelace.
Now, Pooh, and you can't deny it. When you see this group of boys walking in, lean, mean, tough, and they being led by a woman. That looked dope, Pooh. You can't.
No, that is so powerful, man. That is so powerful. You know, and if, you know, we look at it, you know, just on a broader sense, man. Women have paved the way throughout our society for many years in different arenas, man. So, you know, definitely that looks awesome. That looks awesome, for real. When we talked about you know, your high school years and you trying to figure it out, what made you lean towards basketball, even though that wasn't your experience in high school? You know, because most guys, Coach, you already know, they're giving up.
Yeah.
You know, they don't make their high school team. It's like, later forward, let me hit the streets, or let me just do something else and stay away from the game. What made you go back to the game and kind of accomplish something that you always want to accomplish?
Now, let me point out, Pooh, you know, the world famous Boys and Girls High School, I didn't play because I didn't want to. You know, I had an opportunity. Love wanted me on that squad. I remember working out with the team. I was on it. But Pooh, I was such a loner. I was a very reserved kid. I was a shy kid. I loved to play the game. But the idea of being a part of the team and having to run suicides for one of my teammates, or being on that court in the middle of all my classmates, that was not something I wanted to be a part of. So I went to workouts, and I think we came home at like 7 p.m. It was dark outside. I said, yo, I ain't doing that anymore. Right? So I just went back to playing in the park and everything. So after the end of high school, I'm a man now. Got to figure things out. So I joined Uncle Sam's Army.
Mm-hmm.
And Pooh, in the Army, you got no choice but to be a part of a team.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm in this unit. I did 4 years. I went to Iraq. I'm leaning on my brothers. My brothers are leaning on me. I'm a part of the ultimate team. So then when I came home, I said, you know what? I want to give it a shot. Always been a decent park player. I want to give it a shot. I don't want to have any regrets. Let me get this college basketball thing a chance. Even though there was more lucrative opportunities, I could have went to the Pentagon. I had a top secret clearance on that. I said, you know what? I want to give this college basketball thing a shot. So I enrolled at Kingsborough. I couldn't even tell you the difference between D1, D2, JUCO. I didn't know any of that, Pooh. Right. I just wanted to play ball. And my last piece, me not having a high school career, yet going on to have a college career, I tell all these high school coaches now, all the kids you got are ahead of where I am, son. So don't give up on them. You never know what's inside of them, what they're capable of. Like, I was just a shy kid, and that's why I didn't play for the world famous Holley.
No doubt, no doubt. When, you know, you get to college, right? Because we talk about those different transitions in life. You talk about being a loner in high school to join the Army and figuring out the importance of team. How was your transition once you got to Kingsborough, and how did the Army kind of help you into your situation at Kingsborough?
The Army, man, we got 7 core values. It's loyalty, duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity, personal courage. You know, those are things I try to live by and display. And when I walked into that gym, my mindset was, I'm gonna do everything I can to serve this team. Right? That was it, Pooh. I ain't have an individual goal in mind. I ain't here to get buckets. I ain't here to do anything but serve this team. And in my very first college game, I was a 6th man. I scored 12 points or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But during that first half of the year, there was a roller coaster. I went up and down. Sometimes I would start. Sometimes I played little minutes. But still in all, I wanted to serve my team, whether it was contributing in practice, guarding the best player, giving him a headache in practice, whatever I could do. You know, and ultimately, in that first half, my coach came to me and he said, yo, if we're going to be special, we're going to need you to step up and we're going to rely on you. You know what I'm saying? And we kind of just took off from there. And we were able to secure that championship that first year. But my only mindset in college, my whole career, 2-time city champion, all conference, everything, was to just serve my guys. That's it, Pooh.
And you notice how coach came to you with that ultimatum, right? It kind of wasn't like, you know, listen, we're going to win. We're going to need you, right? So a guy who was a loner most of his whole life now put in a position where people are going to have to rely on him.
Yeah.
You know, and you accepted the challenge, right? And for you kids out there, and for you people kind of stuck in your rut, you know, if you just accept the challenge, great things will happen.
For sure.
Great things will happen. And not only things start to happen, you guys won, and then that next year, how was that next year for you?
I played for the great Hassan Duncombe, may he rest in peace.
Yo, hold on. We gonna this double text. All these texts is positive things, brother. Let me tell you something, man. I just want to, right now, man, I want to take a moment of silence for my guy, Hassan Duncombe, my childhood friend, my AAU teammate, and just all around great human being. Like 3 seconds right now, right? Love you, Haas. Love you, Haas.
Rest in peace, my guy.
Love you. Let me tell you, when I first started the show, man, he was one of my first guests. And I was doing my show on Instagram. And it was during the time when Instagram wasn't allowing you to save your stories. So I wasn't able to save the show. And it was so heartbreaking because, you know, we planned on doing it again. And then he started running through some complications. And then we lost my good friend. But tell everybody, because I could go on for days about my guy who, you know, when we was coming up, we came up in the age where, you know, a lot of us didn't have the academics down like we wanted to. It came like kind of later on. And to see how he was able to handle the pressures of being a star basketball player, having friends, being on top of his grades and going to one of the greatest schools in New York, in the country, and the University of Penn, and being a star there, right? We kind of marveled at that. Even though a lot of us maybe probably been ranked a little higher or probably had a little better, you know, situation, or a lot of us who didn't, because Hassan was Brooklyn Player of the Year. He was the man down the Western House, and he just did it on that stage where I think we all kind of marveled at and was
Paul, let me tell you
things he did.
Let me tell you, man, I think about that every day. You know, for the audience to know, Hassan Duncombe was a standout at George Westinghouse High School. You know, he has all these offers. He said he had Georgia Tech and different things.
Everywhere.
And he chose to attend an Ivy League school, the University of Penn. Now, Pooh, when I heard that story, it made me look at my coach a little bit different. Like, oh, snap. This is a man, you know what I'm saying? Not just a basketball player. To have that foresight as a youngster to say, you know, let me sit back and see what may be the best move for my life.
Facts.
I was like, yo, that's pretty impressive. You know, me and Haas ain't never had an issue. You know what I'm saying? Like when he talked, I was listening. You know, I think about that all the time. You know, we mentioned in my bio, I had a doctorate or whatever, but stuff like that impacts me. You know, I just want to be the best version of me. And that's not limited to the basketball space. You know what I'm saying? So Hassan Duncombe had a big impact on that. May he rest in peace. So I think about that all the time. I played for an Ivy League coach. You know what I'm saying?
Who gave people the business? If you ever seen him play, I'm gonna tell you, Haas was a beast. He was so powerful inside, and his touch was so soft. He was, you know, practically unstoppable, and he had a nice jump shot. So, man.
Yo, cool. I'm gonna tell you, as basketball players, everybody got an opinion on a player. Like, yeah, some people think LeBron is great. Some people think he's so. Everybody got an opinion. But in the city, I never heard anybody say a bad word about Hassan Duncombe.
Oh no, you're not gonna hear that. you're not gonna hear that. No
Never,
way,
bro.
He was too much of a fun-loving, and he had the smile of a kid, baby face. Man, he was definitely a monster, man. Salute to my guy Hassan, man. Love you, brother. For sure. For all my people on the check-in, my guy Ayatollah, like I say, E. Weaver, salute to you, brother. Brendan Bain, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Yeah. Anthony McLean, appreciate you. Thank you for coming through. showing my guys some love, showing all of us some love, all the basketball heads out there. And if you haven't, tell somebody, let them know, come to the show, subscribe, you know, and join the basketball head family.
Sure.
Yep. So who was you guys' rivals? Like what will be Kingsborough rival for those people who don't understand the dynamics of, you know, the New York Community College culture?
Oh, that's easy. The Borough of Manhattan Community College Panthers.
Yes. Gotcha.
That's easy, man. They were tough. My sophomore year, they were led by the great Tony Vales, who would actually go on to be named Conference Player of the Year that year. He was a standout at Benjamin Banneker High School. He was just tough, man. Lafayette Gardens, LG.
That's
and
right.
When you talking about New York City guards, he was just coming downhill and he was daring you to do something about it. You know what I'm saying? So that was a great year. You know, they were able to beat us twice in the regular season, and then we met in the championship, and we were able to overcome them that day. But Vales made me get a early night's sleep the night before. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to be the best I can be, try to get my guys ready. It was like me and mine versus him, you and yours versus me and mine.
That's right. That's right. And that second run is just like the finish off your career on that high note, right? And you're moving on to the next level. What are some of the things you started to think about as, you know, you see your college career playing days start to come into an end? You know, you got 2 more years to go. And what's some of the things you started thinking about before you moved on to York?
Well, I was looking for a school with parking. That was really it, man. I wasn't going to the city. I was old, because I came out of the Army. I was a little bit older and stuff. I wanted to go to a place I could just drive to and chill out. But what attracted me, there was a player at York College who's still active, Marcel Esaone. He was actually an All-American, and I just wanted to pair up with him. They had just lost 2 city championships. They had just lost the championship to Brooklyn College. So I was going to go over there and see if I could help them rectify that. Let me go back to the second year at Kingsborough real quick, Pooh. And I started talking about service. We started talking about kind of growing up on the courts with the old heads. You had to be patient. My freshman year, it was like a foregone conclusion we was going to win the city championship. We had Yuri Matsukov, who was actually Sebastian Telfair's center at Lincoln. We had Derrison Anthony, who kind of flew under the radar because he came from the islands, but he was a force. He would end up going D2. And when those guys left, I'm kind of thrusted into the leadership role my sophomore year. But Pooh, it wasn't natural for me. I ain't the I'm going to go get buckets guy.
Right.
But my team needed me. So I had to play that position to be in the leading scorer and things. And that's something I always try to teach to the young kids. It's not about what you want to do. It's what is needed. What Hassan Duncombe needed from me, what my teammates needed from me. It's not about what you're comfortable with, what you're naturally doing. I'm not a natural scorer. I got no problem going get 12 and 6 boards and 5 dimes. But they needed me, so I had to go deliver it. So that's something I'm most proud of about that championship year. It was about service to my team, whatever they needed, and I was going to do it, man. And that's what I want that's what I want people to know about me and my college career. Period. That's it.
And you was also MVP, correct?
I was
we don't want to forget that. We don't want to forget that.
I was fortunate to pull it off that day. I actually ended up giving that. The CUNY Act gives you an MVP watch. I ended up giving it away to my man Malcolm Peterkin, who was a city champion at Grady. But in that championship game, I was in foul trouble in the first half, and he helped to keep it close. And when we went in that halftime down 1, I was like, oh, snap, we're going to be all right. You know what I'm saying? So I gave it to him for just holding down the fort until we were able to come in and help him out.
How important has the community college arena has been for our high school guys coming out and needing a place to play and needing a place to call home?
Yo, Pooh, it is very important, and I think more people should take advantage of it. And that's why we got this event on Saturday, May 6th, called the City Alumni Classic, which features alumni that played at these local CUNY York D3 schools, right? It's not just about celebrating our past. We got alumni coming back representing the school, but we want to inspire the youth. Say, hey, look at this group of people that played at this level. They some cool ballers. You know what I'm saying? If you have an opportunity to play at one of these schools, take advantage of it. But we got too many people sitting at the crib, discounting the D3 experience. Nah, bro. So that's what we're doing on May 6th. My City Alumni Classic is a celebration of former athletes that played their college basketball here in the city. We got 5 games on schedule. It's at LIU Brooklyn. Each team is made up of representatives from that school's alumni base. The best of Brooklyn College, the best of York College, the best of Kingsborough, right? But it's about the youth too. And I think many of them will be surprised to see the caliber of people that played at D3. You may know them, but you ain't know they played D3. I was telling somebody the other day, Mike Woods, who'll be tearing up the pro circuit on the streets right now today. He is a York College alum. So that's what we do.
Look, we definitely want to promote what you're doing, but we also want to give these colleges, some love too, and let them know like the kids can stay in the city and get a great education and play basketball. A lot of times, they look at their opportunities and they're not going to a D1 or D2 or a school that they wanted to go to, and they just give up, not knowing, I could have went to York College, I could have went to Kingsborough, BMCC, and had a hell of a career, and maybe extended it.
Yo, Pooh, too many kids is in the house, like they rather stay home. Yo, go play college ball in your backyard so your mama, your daddy can see you. Go lead the league in go lead the league in scoring. Go lead your conference in rebounding. You go on trips. You're a part of the team. Get your education. College basketball is special. You only get 4 years, Pooh. And if you got a coach that believes in you, that wants you, go take advantage of that. We got beautiful schools, beautiful campuses. We got amazing coaches. That's another thing. With the Brooklyn College alumni team on Saturday, we'll feature the head coach of Brooklyn College basketball, Jeffrey Jean Baptiste. We'll feature the head coach of York College, Jamel Giss, who is a Brooklyn College alum, a city champion from that school. You know what I'm saying? So that's where we at with it, Pooh. We just trying to put on for the city and show like how dynamic this network is, how dynamic the experience can be playing in the city. The great Ted Gustus is a John Jay alum. He was on my podcast promoting that the other day. Go get it, son.
No, that's real. That's real.
Everybody can't be a star like you, Pooh. I know you in D1, Fairleigh Dickinson. But nah, it's real, man. We got all Americans. It's real. It's real.
No doubt. And your time at York College, what was the difference between your experience at York College and Kingsborough?
At York College, man, was filled with adversity. The first couple of games of my junior year, Pooh, I was probably the best I had ever been. I was averaging north of 24 points. And then my point guard got hurt. You know what I'm saying? And I had to take on a little bit more of the ball handling duties, staying out, playing out of position. My numbers suffered. We tried our best to just keep it afloat. I ended up having emergency appendectomy that year, missed some games. But we tried to keep it afloat, man. You know what I'm saying? We competed honorably. It wasn't the result we wanted. Like I said, I had an All-American center. People were excited about what I was going to bring. And we just couldn't get it done.
But the great thing out of that, you walked away with a degree.
Yes, sir.
Right? Which puts you in a position to move on to the next segment of your life. How did you get down to East Tennessee, and how was the transition from New York down to East Tennessee?
Well, that was actually an online program, but I was looking something to, I guess, further my education.
Gotcha.
And that's one thing, Pooh. I'm 38 years old. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to be, right? And I know a lot of young people are having that experience. But in the interim, Pooh, I got to get up every day and do something, right? So while I'm figuring out what I want to do, I'm a U.S. Army veteran. I have some money to pay for my schooling. Let me take advantage of the next level program. You know what I'm saying? See what is there. See if I could expand my network. So that was cool. It was an online program, but it was interactive. We would have like online classes every week. We actually had an international portion. We traveled to Germany. So they made it special, man. I'm very proud to be a part of that group.
What made you come up with the My City Alumni Classic? What inspired you to do that?
Love for my people, Pooh. I was sitting in the crib one day and I was like, this is like during the pandemic. Like, yo, Pooh, as soon as they open those doors, I want to put something together to give my people a reason to get in the room and smile and laugh and cheer and be celebrated. And when I looked at my network, because at that time, I'm working alongside Kayvon Baker, who's the head varsity coach at Wingate, who is the executive director of LTG. He was my former teammate at Kingsborough. He went on to be a Brooklyn College standout. And everybody around us is from there.
Mm.
And life take us in different directions, but I want a reason to bring my people back every year just to see them. I mentioned that I coached at Brooklyn College. I had young men that I'm building a relationship with. I want a reason for y'all to always come back. And last but not least, we talked about the great Hassan Duncombe, who I played for. He passed on. I'm not sure what his official ailment was, but I would say he died of a broken heart. Not being able to be in the gym with his players, being able to hear the ball bounce every day. My city is a reason for us to reconnect, make sure we never stray away too much. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if I would have had my city in place before, I would have been able to get in the room with my coach. We all would have been able to get in the room with our coach and let them know how much we love and appreciate them. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to breathe life in our people, Pooh. That's what it was about. I tell them all the time, I wasn't looking for a basketball event. I was looking for a way to serve my people. The end result was the My City Alumni Classic.
Man. And we talked about filling that need, right? Filling that void, right? You see there's a need, and you put yourself in that position. Hold on, I wanted to do this real quick because, I love my guy dearly, and I know you do too. For those of you who want to know, this is Coach, and this is my guy.
The great Hassan Duncombe.
That's
and
right.
Coach, speaking to that network, I said the reason I wanted to do it because my whole network was these men and women from these local colleges. When I got the word that Hassan had passed, Octavio Gooden, who was his longtime assistant, he told me. I was working as an assistant at Wingate, and we were in Prospect Heights High School. So as I learned about Haas passing, here I am with my former teammate, Kayvon Baker. You know what I'm saying? Where our relationship started at Kingsborough. So I'm like, yo, I got to push forward with the My City Alumni Classic and make sure we can always come back and just recharge, salute each other, compete. Another piece about my city, I got people in the gym focusing hard on their health right now, Pooh. If you know you had a game in a month, Pooh, you're going to put some type of work in to get ready.
Yeah, that was another reason, there's a few others, but, that was another reason why I started the show, because around that time we was losing a lot of New York City greats. Mm-hmm. And these guys never got a chance to tell their story. So that was important, man. And in your time doing this, how long has it been since you've been doing this annual game?
Last year was our inaugural year. This Saturday is going to be the second time around.
How important it is for the growth of New York City and the connections and the interconnections that you can be able to make playing these games?
Yo, Pooh, I think when you really think about it, like I always say this to the players, I can make a case that everybody in the city should be there. Because of course, if you're a former player, show up to compete. If you are a high school coach, it's a way to come out and connect with, as I mentioned, we got college coaches playing. Also, a lot of these players are former PSL standouts. Yo, tell your high school coach, come out and see you and see the man that you developed into. You know what I'm saying? Within the school base, the alumni base, like you might have played in 2005, I played in 2009. We never spoke to each other. We never connected. Now we on the same court. You know, I see guys doing business together after the inaugural classic. Just trying to connect everybody, Pooh. Everybody.
Nah, that's real. So what I want to do real quick, before we move on with the rest of this conversation, I'm gonna put you on the screen by yourself, and I want you to plug the event, and I'm gonna put it on my page, and do what you do, man, because you know.
Oh, here we go.
All right, so I'm gonna give you times, and you wanna just kick it off, and I'll put it on my page and let everybody know what's going on. Here you go, Coach.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got the City Alumni Classic going down Saturday, May 6th on the campus of LIU Brooklyn. We got 5 games on schedule. It is a celebration of some of the alumni basketball players from the city who played their college basketball right here at some of the Division III institutions. We got the best of Brooklyn College. We got the best of Lehman, York College, Kingsborough, FIT program. You know, each squad is made up of alumni from their specific school, and they're going to compete. You know, we bring it back to promote healthy living and build camaraderie amongst the city. You know, we like to get some of the kids in there also so they can see this dynamic network of former college athletes and hopefully inspire them to push forward and pursue a college career and finish their career.
And it's going down all day Saturday from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Make sure y'all be there.
All day, bro.
No doubt, no doubt. So when we get into the game and people are able to see what's going on and see the schools that's available and playing, hopefully they can put it all together and we can grow this thing into a bigger situation.
For sure, man.
Right?
We're trying, Pooh.
So, shameless plug, June 13th to June 15th, legendary coach Rob Holford, myself, and the Tom Kachowski Foundation are putting on an all-city all-star game in honor of the late, great Tom Kachowski, to support the Tom Kachowski Foundation. And we're going to have some of the city top players there. So, you know, just capping on what you're doing and what we're trying to do on the high school level to try to keep that spirit alive, that spirit of the Wheelchair Classic, that spirit of the Golden Hoops, those games that we were able to go to see some of our future stars. So
we got to take the city back, Pooh.
Yes. We go out of town and we give everybody that energy. We don't put no energy back into our city, only in the summertime. And during league play, I think, you know, we need to do it on a consistent basis.
We got to take the city back, man. We got to control our resources, tell our own stories. We have people that are more than capable. You know what I mean? We just got to put it all together.
Nah, that's right. Salute to my brother Thomas Diggs, my guy Trey. Said we need to get Sullivan JC up in there too.
Sullivan would be dope. Sullivan had beats. We competed against Sullivan. In fact, Clee Anthony Early, who would end up playing for the Knicks, competed at Sullivan. Sullivan is beast.
Facts.
They just had a kid from South Shore up there, my man Kip, young Kipper.
Yeah. Look at that. Always. Oh, that's dope, man. See that connection? So, Coach, on a side note, right? What is your thoughts on the NIL and the transfer portal right now?
Whoo!
I want to open up that can of worms. Yes, I do.
The NIL. I think young people should be able to capitalize off the name, image, and likeness. I don't know what it means for competition. You know, I think there's a way. They've been doing a good job of regulating it, right? Or else Duke would get all the big time kids. Fact. Because their alumni base may have the most money and stuff. So it looks like they're doing a good job of regulating it. I think young people should be able to capitalize off the name, image, and likeness. And with the transfer portal, that's iffy, Pooh. because we always lamented the fact that coaches had the freedom to move. But some of these kids is wild. You know what I'm saying? My answer to it all, Pooh, is we got to raise them right from the beginning. That's it. You know, a kid should have the right to transfer, but don't transfer because coach making you work a little extra harder because your spot wasn't given to you. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm at with it.
Man, that's yeah, that's a rabbit hole we can go down forever, man. But I don't.
What do you say?
Again, I understand the dynamics of kids getting paid. I'm totally for that. There's a negative and positives to everything, right? We seeing what happened with the Mikey Williams situation, and he's just one situation, right? When you get a lot
with the rest,
yeah. And again, we weren't there. We don't know if he let off the shots or his roommate let off the shots. But you got a young kid who's living in this mansion. I don't know if any adults there. What's going on? That can kind of hinder the hunger, right? Early on and kind of prevent you from going to the next level if you get it too early. Now, again, if a kid who needs it and dying need and would need to take care of his family, I get it, understand. But that's a very touchy subject because I don't want to be the guy who says kids shouldn't get paid or certain kids shouldn't. It just have to be I think it have to be regulated in some way or become the Wild Wild West.
It's the values, Pooh. It all comes back to the values for me. Because Bronny, he got the world at his fingertips. But that young brother seemed to be working hard and seemed to be focused.
But again, look who his dad is, right? If Bronny was another kid who probably didn't have that family situation, right? And I don't want to knock what he's doing, but I think the spotlight's on him because of who his dad is. So he's going to have some of those traits. He's going to make sure, because his dad was a stand-up guy. He never got in trouble, right? So he's going to pass those things down to his son. So that's a whole different situation compared to somebody else who is not in that situation. And a lot of our kids don't grow up in a LeBron James household.
But we don't need money to instill the values, Pooh.
No, I get that. I get that. But when you're like the breadwinner in your family, you 17 years old, who gonna tell you something?
Yeah.
Who you listening to?
Yeah.
You know, so it definitely can go both ways. Yo, I got to get my guy Trey here again. He said, yo, we got a whole heap of alumni city that played up at Sullivan, Alamo, SIP. Salute my guy, and rest in peace, Alamo.
Alamo is a Sullivan.
Yeah.
Junior college guy?
Yeah.
Alamo is one of my favorite N1 dudes.
Yeah.
You know why? Because his game looked like it was really pro.
Yes.
Like it would really translate to an official game, not just what the hijinks of N1. Like, now he would really get busy.
Tell him Trey had a up close and personal view, man. Very close friend of his, man. Salute to my guy, AB Money.
So Thomas Diggs, AB Money, come see us Saturday, man. Tickets on sale. Tickets on sale. There's a ticketed event. My City Alumni Classic, May 6th. We at LIU, D1 facility, 5 games, man. It's the city, man. That's it.
No doubt. So what's your thought on New York City basketball as a whole?
We down bad.
You think so?
We down bad, Pooh.
You think so?
Well, we getting busy in the city. I mean, we'll be getting busy in the world. That young man in Kansas State just got busy. We ain't even like
we in the picture, right? Think about it. We in the conversation.
Pooh, I always say
in the conversation, and we gotta and I'm gonna let you go, and we also had a national championship on the girls' side.
Wait, LSU?
Yes. Hold on. Excuse me. Hold on. Tell you right now, I forget the young lady's name. She went to South Shore.
Oh, Pooh.
Yes. Yes.
Her dad is the coach at Hostos. Let me say this though. I always say this, Pooh.
Got you. Yeah. Yes.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is a product of New York City.
Got you.
For a long time, he was the leading scorer in the NBA.
Got you.
We've only taken steps back since then, right? I remember Ron Artest going into Duke, getting busy as a member of St. John's.
Got you.
We're not doing that right now. And that's an indictment on all of us. On all of us. We got to go back to the values. What's New York City's values?
No, I get you. No, I definitely understand what you're saying. It's hold on, because I want to make sure I get her name right. Katari Poole.
Yeah.
Yes. We have a lot going on in the city. I think it took us time to kind of get it back. You know, we got kids going to North Carolina, Ian Jackson. We got Elijah Moore going to Syracuse. We have Brandon Williams going to UCLA, right? So we have kids. We got Eric Acker, Anthony Isaac, and Trey Shep going to LIU, right? So,
Pooh, we got people that commit without question. How many great careers have we put together in the lab? We've seen the commits, but then we see the transfers. We see the underperforming. Who went and really just got to it? 1,800 points, championships.
Kemba Walker.
Indeed.
Right, we can name them. We're there. We're in the conversation, but a lot of time I think we dominated, and we were so spread out throughout the country in such a vast variety. It kind of dwindled down. But I think with this last year's high school performances and this year that's coming up, I think it's going to be even better. I think the city is definitely making a turn for the better. And I think the more we keep putting into it, the more we're going to get out of it. Because there was a time.
This year was amazing. Salute to Kevin Hamilton Jr. Salute to Lawrence Bud Powell. Amazing in the Barclays.
What? That was the best city championship we had in years.
And them kids going to school. Salute to them. That was amazing.
And can't forget the Catholic School City Championship where Boogie Flam put on an absolute show.
I didn't catch that one.
Oh, man, that was a beautiful sight to see. 22 points in the first half. He ain't missed a shot. It was definitely crazy. Definitely crazy. So let everybody know. Matter of fact, let's get to your podcast, right?
Uh-oh.
Let's get to your podcast, which I think you do an excellent job of. When did you start it up? How and what was your inspiration?
I think I started in 2017. I was a graduate student at Brooklyn College. I was looking for a job, you know what I'm saying? And I wanted to be like on ESPN, of course. There was only a few outlets. And I was going to the school radio station and recording clips. And I think the program director got tired of me harassing him. And he said, yo, just lock me in a room one day. And like, yo, you just do it. Start showing me the board. So I started doing little things on my own. Again, it is not a natural thing, you know, but I start doing it. And my people start rocking with it. Because I think that's the most important. If your people believe you, then you can go convince the world that you are a podcaster. So I was doing my solo thing, and then I tried a little bit of interviews, and I enjoyed being able to highlight some of the stories of my people, you know. And recently, one of the biggest episodes we had is when we had Ray Haskins, who's the executive director of the PSAL, to be able to provide him with a platform to ultimately connect with the city. That was a dream come true.
For everybody that knows or don't know, Coach Haskins is my mentor, and he is the godfather of this podcast. For sure.
That's what's up.
For sure. He's my go-to on everything. Yeah.
And I was in them history books, you know, Dr. King, Malcolm X, they knew the media was important. And for us to be able to tell our own stories, Pooh, is very important.
That's where I was inspired from. I saw Lamar Odom on Drink Champs, and which is, you know, one of my favorite podcasts. Been watching that from the beginning. So salute to Nori and DJ EFN for what they do over there. But I just felt like New York City needed a place, a safe space where people could come tell their stories without all the gossip and hoopla.
Yeah. One of my favorite clips of yours is when you were on the bus with Coach Bud. They had a dust up at the game prior. We wanted to know what happened. You know what I'm saying? Yo, Coach Bud, that's what we need. Coach Bud explained it. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? We needed that. And that was dope that we had an avenue, basketball heads, Glenn Poole Harden, to get that information out.
Thank you. Appreciate that. And they did a good job down in Philly, too. They represented the city well. Yeah. So let everybody know where they can catch your show, when and where, and, all the platforms that it's on.
WBH Radio. That is my initials, William Bernard Holley. Catch it on YouTube. That's it. And wherever podcasts are found, iTunes, Spotify. Just trying to tell stories. I do interviews. Sometimes I do solo commentary. I was fortunate to interview sports media juggernaut Skip Bayless. I just dropped the interview with Mr. Mike Wilbon, which is he called into the show, audio. I'm actually doing a live show, a live event, September 23rd, 2023. Love for people to come pull up. It's going to be like a night on the town, just trying to say thank you to the community that's formed around the podcast. I love when I go out and people say, yo, I saw that episode with Coach Bud or Coach Hamilton or Coach Haskins, man. Like, it's cool. Like, we got stars in the city. I feel like sometimes we get caught up in chasing celebrity. We got real stars that's walking among us. On this podcast, Glenn Harden is a city champion at the high school level, went on to D1, helped get a court repaved in Brevard. Like, that's real. You know what I'm saying? Boo? Like, we need to hear that. We got real life superheroes in our own community. Let's do it.
Appreciate you, brother. No doubt. If it's one thing you could change about your basketball journey, what would it be?
I would have had to play for Ruth Lovelace. Boys high. I can't believe it. Boys high. Yo, going into my senior year, like, yo, Will's on the team. We working out. I'm like, I couldn't do it. But yeah, that's it. The Army changed me as a human, made me be a member of the team and everything. Like, but I just didn't have those values as a youngster. I wish I could have played for the great Ruth Lovelace.
She used to give girls buckets. She averaged like 38 in high school. She used to play with us, and then she used to just go work out on the girls. It's crazy.
I'm sure.
Oh, yes, for sure. So right now, we want to get into our top five. All right, Coach. As we should say, Doc. All right. We want to get into top five and see, where you at with it on some of the people you came up playing with and against, and we're getting to your top five New York City all time. All right. Who are the top five players you played against?
I'm got to shout out my D3 alumni who's going to be competing Saturday, May 6th in my City Alumni Classic. Top five. I got to put them in order? I'm going to just give you names.
Yeah, just give me the names. No.
Jamar Harry, who played at John Jay, who actually also played at Weston House, led them to the city championship game. Jamar Harry was a crafty lefty, finish around the rim, shoot the mid-range. You know what I mean? He was on the offensive glass heavy. That was annoying. You know what I'm saying? You always have to look over your shoulder, see who he's at. So I'm going to put Jamar Harry in that mix. I'm going to put my young bro, Kayvon Baker, in that mix. We were teammates at Kingsborough, but then he went to Brooklyn College, and he 6'3" point guard. He taking it off the defensive rim, and he pushing it full court, applying maximum pressure. I'm going to put Kayvon Baker on that list. I'm going to put the great Tony Vales, of course. My guy, he was a standout at York College. But him and I went head to head when he was at BMCC. You know, he'll be playing in the Classic also on Sunday. Who else I got to come up with? I played against the great Richard Baptiste one time in a scrimmage. He was a 2-time city champion at Brooklyn College. He was just silky smooth buckets. What's that for? I need one more. Let me think. Who else we got? I'm gonna give love to my man Jerome Alexander, who also played at John Jay. He went to Elmont High School. Yo, Pooh, you know those type of guys when you know their coach is going to give them every opportunity
right.
to score 30 points on you. It's like, damn, coach, you just going to let him just come down and shoot every time? Rome was trying to put buckets on your head, man. So salute to Rome. He played with us last year. He wouldn't be able to make it this year, but Rome was coming to do damage.
No doubt. My guy Trey says he's gonna pull up to the live show. And you know, we can promote that as well. You come back on and
That's
you know,
love.
you get some
That's
people
love.
there, man. That's we gotta do. We gotta constantly, you know, help each other out, man. That's what we got. Yeah. So top 5 players you saw play.
Top 5 players I ever seen play.
In person, not like on television, like you went there and you saw it up live, close and personal.
In person. I want to give some love to this gentleman by the name of Ron Bartley, who was in the Army. You know, there's a lot of guys in the Army who they was D1 walk-ons, and then they maybe had to go get a job. You know, they started a family, they had to go to work. So there was some ballers in the Army, and I remember Ron Bartley, he was the first dude was like, oh, son, like, you should be getting a check somewhere. Ron Bartley was dope. You know, I played in Gersh one year. Will Barton showed up. You know, and it's like Will Barton is, you were saying the NBA is a fringe player, but them brothers is different. So he looked like he was floating on air in the park. Like, yo, Will Barton.
The last player in the NBA would come out into these tournaments and make mincemeats of these dudes.
Absolutely. Put Lance on that list too. Lance on that list.
All right, let's give last name because got to give Lincoln some respect. I know you talking
Lance
about
Stevenson of force, man. Salute to him. Sebastian Telfair, of course. That's my favorite player ever. What he did for New York, how he did it. You know, you walk in the gym and somebody got to point out, yeah, that little guy, that's Sebastian. And he would turn that up. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to give some love to Gary Irvin. Gary Irvin, he played in an era in this city where it was Quincy Doobie, who would be a first-round NBA draft pick, Sebastian Telfair, who would be a first-round NBA draft pick,
a lottery
pick,
straight from high school.
Gary Forbes, who would make it in the NBA, and G. Irv held his own. Any other era, he would be considered the greatest. He was a beast, man.
He was the player of the year in New York, right? And he did well in college, and he went and got MVP over in Australia, yeah, right, in NBL. And my guy Fly Ty, who's the announcer, y'all go check out the interview with my guy Fly Ty. He's the announcer for Gersh Park, and we were talking about the G. Irv miracle that happened at Gersh Park last year, which, man, for a guy who's done it all, and now he's on a high school level, had an undefeated season, had his only loss in the city championship. Great things is still gonna be, you know, in Gary Irvin's life coming soon. Man. Yeah.
Paul, I was saying New York is down bad a little bit. I went to high school and there was 3 NBA players walking around public schools. How we explain that? Like we need to bring that back. Gary Forbes, Quincy Doobie, Sebastian Telfair, 3 NBA players walk around New York City Public High School. That's what I'm saying.
No, and I think too, once the phones kind of came in and the technology kind of shifted and kids got off the court, right? There was a large gap in New York City for a while that was very empty. Listen, I just came back to the game 3 years ago. You know, I've been doing this show 3 years, and I was away for the game for a very long time until, you know, life kind of brings you back full circle, man. So definitely understand. All right. Top 5 players in New York City history. Now, when I say this, I'd like to give people some perspective. I'm not asking you to talk about guys you've never seen, but if they're on your list, fine. From your eyes and some of the people that you marveled at that come from New York City that had great college and pro careers, right? That you can brag about, or somebody that you kind of looked up to or revered. 5 people, five
people. Let's start. Sebastian Telfair. If for whoever wasn't around in that era, like you missed out. Like I always tell, I mess with Kenny Preller, who was the assistant coach, and that's why I say, yo, y'all really made a movie.
Facts.
And he answered the bell every time, Pooh. Like the maturity of that young man. The whole world's coming to see you. You got Derek Jeter, Jay-Z, everybody courtside, and you get it done. That was phenomenal. So Sebastian Telfair is the greatest I've ever seen. You know, I want to give a love to Sekou Silla.
Yes.
Sekou Silla, who helped South Shore break through, win that championship. And then he went on to have a Player of the Year career at Nova Southeastern down in Florida. And what's remarkable about what he did, he made himself into a D1 player. He just finished his career at, Towson?
Mm-hmm.
But he capitalized on the opportunities that was given to him. Okay, I'm a D2 player. Watch me work. A lot of people be talking like, oh, I'm better than D2. If you are, go show it. Fair. So I'm going with Telfair. I'm going with Sekou Silla. Shamari Pons put together an amazing career recently, you know, to put Thomas Jeff, help them win their city championship, and then to go into college and play in his backyard, defeat Duke. Like, that's phenomenal stuff. That's phenomenal stuff. I want to give shout out to the great Eugene Lawrence also. You know, going on to win the city championship at your school, then playing at St. John's, and then been tearing up the summer circuit for a decade plus, honorably too. Like, Gino's a pro. He's showing up, he's doing his work, and he's going about his business.
And had a great career overseas too.
So, for sure. Salute to Gino. What I got there? That's Sebastian, that's Shamari, that's Sekou, that's Gino. I need one more. Who we got recently? Who we got? I'm going to give, what was that brother that went to Midwood and went to Fordham?
Not too sure.
Brian Smith? He took them to the B championship.
For real?
Yeah.
Brian Smith Fordham?
Yeah. My young bro, Kayvon Baker, was serving as assistant coach on that roster. Like,
nice.
I like guys that just go.
Yeah, Brian Smith, Fordham University. Yeah.
Go somewhere and just take your team to the top. Put your foot down and just work. A lot of times people be chasing names, Pooh. If you are who you are, you're going to put your school on your back and take them to the top.
Yeah, and I think if more kids thought like that, you know, they watch the NBA players go play with the best, so they figure they got to go play against the best instead of playing against the best. And this is why I wanted to, you know, definitely get involved with the Tom Kachowski Foundation and help putting together this game. And what I forgot to mention, y'all, the All-Star game is going to be PSAL versus Catholic School League. That's what I forgot to tell y'all. That's the nuts and bolts of this whole thing. And everybody want to talk about, you know, the Catholic school kids are better, public school kids are better. Well, let's see. Everybody talking about it. It's time to be about it right now.
When's that?
June 15th at Malloy High School.
The current PSAL kids versus the current?
Yes.
I'm there.
Oh, let's talk about it. And look,
who's putting the rosters together? Who assembles the roster?
We have a committee. I'm definitely taking that charge of putting the rosters together. I'm going to get with the coaches who are coaching those teams to make sure. Because, I put out my all-city list. I put out an all-city list, right? Because the papers don't carry it no more. Daily News, Post, Newsweek, Newsday, they don't cover it no more. And I was, summoned by some people on the inside to kind of put that together, and I put together all city lists If you ain't see it, if you never saw my all-city list, go to my Instagram page, NYC Basketball Networks, Basketball Heads, and you can check out, all-city selection. So let me just give you a rundown real quick before you get off the phone.
That sounds
just
dope.
in case.
Nah, go for that.
No doubt. So this is some of the people who I have on this list. Hold up 1 second. So the all-city team. Matter of fact, we did an all-city selection show. I did it with my guy Dave from Dave Joint and my guy from Hoop Dreams, NYC, right? We did that because we the guys that's mostly out at those games and see everybody play. So the first team, all-city player, and we just waiting for confirmations for everybody. So this is the first time that a lot of people is hearing this. Boogie Flan was Player of the Year, New York, period. He definitely led the charge for the first team. So it was Boogie Flan, Jaden Zimmerman, Trey Shep, Ian Jackson, and Anthony Isaac from Jefferson. Second team was Josh Pasquarelli from St. Francis Prep, Naz Muhammad from Zavarian, Brandon Williams from Christ the King, Eric Acker from Eagle, Karan Alexander from South Shore. Third team was Devin Vanderpool, CTK, Connor Spratley, Khalifa Arturo from Bircham, Elijah Moore from Hayes, and Kadar Martin from St. Peter's.
Dope. Who you seen a lot of high school basketball? You asked me about my top 5. Who? Give me some of the names that high school players that you seen get busy.
Man, I seen a lot. I seen, first of all, played against Kenny Anderson in Glen Falls. Had a chance to beat Malloy. Great player. Arnold Bernard the next night at in Glen Falls. Was able to beat them. Gerald Green, who went to the Final Four at Westinghouse. Lloyd Daniels played against him. Played with Ross Strickland. Played with Boo Harvey. Played with Derek Chivas. Seen Pearl play. Ed Davida. Man. Damn, so many. Gary Massey, St. Ray's, Jason Williams, played with Jason Williams in the AAU, who played with the Nets. Played with Malloy Naismith, New York City legend, played with him at AAU. So many ball players. I see so many ball players during my time. It was ridiculous. I seen Charles Jones and Lamar Jones come up as kids. Trevor Diggs, Mike Williams, I seen a lot of these ball players come up. If I didn't see them personally or play with them. So I seen a lot. I seen a lot of good ball players during the time. And I just happened to come up during the era of that golden era, right? So this is kind of gives me my connection to a lot of the people that, people see come on the show that I still have relationships with these days. And, I was one of those guys who, who had a chance to play with a lot and seen a lot of the greatest players in New York City history come up during that time.
Dope.
Yeah. Oh, Ross Strickland, Boo Harvey. Yo, let me tell you something, Chips. Let me tell you something, brother. It gets no better than that. Like, just imagine this, Doc. I watched Kenny Anderson post up Christian Laettner, right? We played together in the Empire State Games. And he's posting Christian Laettner up, yelling at me to throw him the ball. Like, I'm waving Kenny away, like, stop playing. And he gave me this look like, Pooh, if you don't pass me the ball. So I was like, all right, gave him the ball. And he scored the Christian Laettner in the post.
6'10" Christian Laettner. That's New York right there.
So, and listen, brother, I want to say, man, thank you for coming on the show. Look, we appreciate what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing, and let's keep supporting each other, man. And I'm definitely going to be out there Saturday. I'm going to come out there and chill out for a few games. I have a meeting before then and go to your games, and I got another event to go to in Long Island, but I'm definitely going to pull up, man, show you some love.
Yo, Pooh, I appreciate you a great deal, man. I reached
For
out
sure.
to you, let you know what we had going on, and you said pull up. So I appreciate that forever and ever, man. Thank you.
No doubt. This is what we do. This is what we do. And that's what we have to continue doing, because we showed each other that we support each other. The kids will pick up on it, and they'll keep supporting each other.
Yes, sir.
No doubt. We're going to give my, my last words. You can stick around. Appreciate all my basketball heads for stopping through. Please spread the word. Tell everybody, subscribe to the show, and help us keep growing. We got the merch. As you see, I'm always rocking my merch. Wherever I go, I'm rocking it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is what we do. And Coach, stick around. We'll get my last words, and I'll holler at you, all right? See you Saturday. Listen, you never know how life's going to turn out for you, right? A lot of us, it takes time for us to find ourselves. And once we do, and once we accept those challenges that we face, even those internal challenges that we have, we know if we take a step outside of the box and challenge ourselves, great things will happen. And that's what Dr. William Holley did for himself. He made up for his time not playing high school basketball, to go into college, win two city championships, an MVP, go on to get 3 degrees, and change his whole life perspective. And also going to the Army and fighting for our rights and standing up for us. So we definitely want to salute that. All the kids out there, never sell yourself short of your dreams. You never know what life has for you until you open up that door and accept those challenges. I would like to thank our guest tonight, Dr. William Holley, for everything he's doing. Y'all go support him this Saturday at LIU for the My City Alumni Classic. Also support his podcast, WBH Podcast, here on YouTube and other platforms. For all my basketball heads out there, appreciate you. There you go. We're going to put it up again. That's right. My City Classic, Saturday, May 6th, LIU, Brooklyn. Salute to you, brother. And all my sisters out there, about to get out of here. And like he said, I'm your host, Glenn Pooh Harding. And you've been watching Basketball Heads Live, the podcast on NYC Basketball Network. Because we are the official home for New York City basketball. Peace.